Hi, and welcome to today's reading for the 28th of December. And today's reading comes from Each Day a New Beginning, December 28th. The human heart dares not stay away too long from that which hurt it most. There is a return journey to anguish that few of us are released from making. That's a quote from someone called Lillian Smith. As the sore tooth draws our tongue, so do rejections, affronts, painful criticisms, both past and present, draw our minds. We court self-pity, both loving and hating it, but we can change this pattern. First, we must decide we are ready to do so. The program tells us we must become entirely ready, and then we must ask to have this shortcoming removed. The desire to dwell on the injustices of our lives becomes habitual. It takes hours of our time. It influences our perceptions of all other experiences. We have to be willing to replace that time-consuming activity with one that's good and healthy. We must be prepared for all of life to change. Our overriding self-pity has so tarnished our perception that we may never have sensed all the good that life daily offers. How often we see the glass as half empty rather than half full. A new set of experiences awaits me today, and I can perceive them unfettered by the memories of the painful past. Self-pity need not cage me today. Well, being an expert in self-pity in my past, having lived a lot of time in the poor me cave, this reading talks to me about how you might be feeling, or someone you know, or maybe in your past as well, you were full of self-pity and felt caged in by it. When I was in my Pumi cave many years ago, I didn't know that I was. I didn't realize that I was a victim. I didn't realize I was a victim of my own mind, of my own emotions. I just thought things happened to me and it wasn't fair. And I wish they wouldn't. And I was quite resentful that they did. So there is a Bach flower remedy, which is called willow, which is for people who find themselves resentful and thinking that life's unfair and why me and poor me. And perhaps, they have also crawled into a poor me cave without actually realizing they have their own key. So willow for me is the key to escaping from the resentments that creep into my life. And it's a really great remedy if you're someone who suffers from resentments and blaming others and situations for how you feel, because actually nobody can make you feel the way you feel. There's something inside of you that makes you feel that way. You've just been triggered. So it's an interesting thing to think about today. And the program that this book talks about is a recovery program. I've spoken about that before when I've done readings from this book. But, we're all in recovery of some sort. So I always think that the readings in this book are wonderful for all of us, whether we are recovering from, some illness, some addiction, or just from something that has happened to us. So maybe we are recovering from resentments that we have had towards others and to life in general, because we feel we didn't deserve such a hard time. So this reading really spoke to me today. The desire to dwell on the injustices of our lives becomes habitual. It can. We can really get into that victim mode, that downward spiral of what next, and, why me, and this is unfair, and nothing ever goes right for me. So, if that's where you are today, there is a nice little remedy, a little Bach flower remedy that is self-help, and you don't have to tell anybody about it. But the first step is admitting to yourself that you feel sorry for yourself. And maybe that's not something that you would recognize, but maybe think about the thoughts in your head about whether you blame someone else for how you feel, whether you blame something for how you feel. And if that is something that goes on for you, or if you're thinking, my little indicator is, why is it always me that has to wipe the counter from the of the toast crumbs? Nobody else ever does it. That's my first indicator of needing some wiggle. It's a very small thing, but it's kind of a trigger for me to know that I am going into resentment. So maybe you have a little thing like that also. I'm past the 5 minutes, so I'm going to go. Namaste. I will see you tomorrow, and sending love out to everyone. Bye.